If you are serious about making money, make sure you stay till the end of this video. Not only am I going to be showing you how to trade the best setups at the best prices heading into this week for SPY, but I'm also going to show you a top stock setup that is on track to have a massive crash and how you could take advantage of this opportunity by buying put options. With that being said, my last video is going to show you the best trading strategy that we are using to consistently make money heading into 2023. And if you also want to get a better understanding of how to master my strategy, make sure you watch the gap trading playlist, the second link below in the description of this video. Let's get straight into it. So first things first, I'm going to start off with the SPY analysis heading into tomorrow, and then I'm going to share with you at the end of this video my trading plan for a stock that I'm planning to profit on heading into tomorrow. I'm telling you guys, we are setting up for some great, amazing trading opportunities. So this is what I want you to understand in terms of where we currently are at in terms of the market and the process that SPY is currently in. What I need you to understand is this is very, very bearish. When a stock hits a key resistance level, see how the SPY hit key resistance right here and it filled a gap. So it fills a gap at the top of the channel, hits a key resistance level. Right here it gaps down, opens up lower than it previously closes. That means it gaps down, it fills the gap, it reverses, and it sells off. Well, SPY did the same thing. Right here, you can see there was a gap to fill at 415.19. This is where we played puts. It formed a bearish doji right here once it filled the gap, which is confirmation to then get back in on puts at a slightly lower price. And as you can see, when it forms the bearish doji on the 30-minute, when it closes that gap of key resistance, it sells off very, very nicely. That was a great confirmation as well to get back in on puts. Now, with that being said, in terms of the close, it closed where the previous support was. So your previous support on the 30-minute chart was towards this 413. It had a massive sell-off. It retested this previous support level right here, and it reacted as a resistance, as a resistance, as a resistance. And it is currently selling off during extended hours trading session, on track to gap down and open up lower than it previously closed. So what I want you to understand is we are towards the lower middle of the channel. And this is very, very bearish. But here's what I want you to understand, and here's where the traps are going to get created. I'm going to show you where the bear trap is going to get created and where the bull trap is going to get created. This is where all of the profit is going to be made heading into this week. So listen up. First things first, let's go over the best case scenario for the bulls. So in terms of the best case scenario for the bulls, what I want you to understand is take a look. This is strong previous support, this 408 level. Right here, it gapped up from 408, and it had a massive green day to 412. Next day after that, it filled the gap at 415. What I want you to understand is we have a lot of support at 408, and we have a gap to fill below at $408.04. So what I want you to look for is, in terms of call options and in terms of a bear trap, I want you to see if this previous resistance right here at 408 can react as a support level. This is what I want you to understand. Since SPY filled this gap and started reversing, and it's also reversing from this gap right here at 412.83, that is super bearish. But here's what I need you to understand, and this would be the best possible case scenario for bulls. If the SPY gaps down, opens up lower than it previously closes, if it opens up lower than 412.64, that's really good for bulls. And the reason why I'm saying that is if SPY gaps down and then it comes crashing back down to $408.04, it's going to try to have a reversal to turn this resistance back into support to then rocket back up to fill the gap that's waiting to fill above. So that would be the best case scenario for the bulls. The best thing for the bulls in terms of this potential bear trap that we're talking about would be if SPY gaps down and it does not go back up to fill the gap and it crashes to $408 first, forms a floor, forms a support, then it's going to try to reverse, create the bear trap, rocket back up to fill the gap at 412.64. That's what I would prefer to happen. In terms of what I would not prefer to happen is if I were buying calls at 408, I would not want it to gap down and then fill the gap at 412.64 first, then crash to 408. And the reason why is it wouldn't serve a purpose. Do you understand the strategy serving a purpose? SPY gaps down, it hits a key support level, or it fills the gap that's waiting to fill below, then it has a reversal and it rockets back up to fill the gap. It's not going to be ideal if there's no gap that's waiting to fill above at 412.64. So what I'm telling you is The best play for calls would be if SPY gaps down, which it's trying to do, and then it does not push back up to fill the gap, and then it crashes back down to fill the gap at 408.04, then you buy the calls, ride it back up a little bit, not all the way, just a little bit for a nice quick scalp spike to fill the gap at 412.64. Now, let's go over the bull trap and discuss buying put options. SPY is super, super bearish. What you would want if you were bullish and you wanted to buy calls, like I said, you want it to gap down. You don't want the gap to fill. You want it to fill this gap first at 408.4. Then you play calls for the reversal. Now, in terms of a bear, this is what I would want. In terms of a bear, I would want 412.64. If I see 412.64 react as a resistance level, then I will look to play puts. What would make that trade even better? If the SPY did not fill the gap at 408.04, and then it fills the gap at 412.64 first, reverses, and then it starts to fill the gap below. So understand, the strategy serves a purpose. And what I'm telling you is 412.64, if that doesn't hit first and it goes to 408, most likely outcome is calls at 408. If it gaps down and 412.64 hits first, most likely outcome is puts. But even if the gap fills at 412.64, I would still, even if the gap filled at 408 first, I would still be interested in buying puts at 412.64. Now, if the gap filled at 412.64 and it went to 408, I would be less interested in buying calls because the overall trend is bearish and I would need a very strong bullish confirmation. So what I'm telling you is overall direction is super bearish. If I'm buying puts, I don't care if the gap at 408 hasn't filled or not because it's super bearish. I just want to get in at 412.64. But if I'm buying calls against the trend, I would prefer there to be a gap to fill above at 412.64. I would prefer for it to gap down, crash to 408, then buy the calls, ride it back up to fill the gap, versus where if the gap already filled and it just crashes and it's just a reversal. So gap close reversal, and then the second part is to fill the gap. Very, very simple. Puts at 412.64 and then calls at 408. Now, what I want you to understand in terms of Max Payne, if I'm buying puts at 412.64, my Max Payne is 413.70. I'm risking $1 against me. $1 move against me. That's it. Because if it goes above 413.70, then it goes to 415. If it goes above 415, then it goes to 418. I do not hold. I do not hope. I risk $1 against me. If I'm buying calls at 408.04, ideally, I still want there to be a gap that's waiting to fill above at 412.66. And the Max Payne on that idea is to buy the calls at 408.04 and risk 407. Max Payne, $1. What I need you to understand is if it cannot reverse, if it cannot work at these levels, it is not going to work and you will get crushed holding your hopes in bag holding, right? So just respect that, okay, if there's a floor here and it's forming support, super bullish. If there's a resistance level here and it's forming a roof, super bearish. But if it does the inverse, then it's super bullish. But if it does the inverse, then it's super bearish. Respect the floor versus roof theory. With that being said, those are my game plans heading into SPY. The only levels I'm interested in trading at are 412.64 and 408. Those are the best setups at the best prices, and that's where I stand in terms of the bull and bear traps. You use those levels, you identify whether it's forming a support or a roof, whether it looks bullish or bearish. With the confirmations, you should do very, very well heading into this week. Now, this is going to be the play, and I don't talk about stock plays a lot, but I like what I'm seeing. We need to talk about Tesla. For those of you who stay to the end of these videos, you truly do get rewarded with the best information. Tesla has a gap at $207.32. Right here, there was a gap to fill on Tesla. Let me show you why this is special, and let's take a look at the daily chart. Tesla, for the short term, is a little bit overbought. It went from 101 all the way to $209. I understand there was good news that came out today, but in terms of price action, I'm going to give you a very, very good trading opportunity here if it plays out how we want it to. We're going to take advantage of this one. So what I want you to understand is your previous support on Tesla is at 207, 207, 210. Right around here is your previous support. You see the bottom of this, right? Well, when it cracks that support, massive downside potential, multiple gaps to fill below, right? So we're looking for a short-term pullback. Now, this right here is a bearish trend reversal doji. This is like basically the same 30-minute candle that formed on the SPY when it went from 415 to 413, and then it went super bearish the next day, right? Same concept, just different time frame on candles. So what I want you to understand is overall, For the micro, for the short term, Tesla stock is overextended. It's up 100% from the lows. We are at previous support, and it's been trying to react as a resistance. See the bearish doji right here at 214. See the previous support right here on the daily chart, which is all the way towards $207 to 210. And then you see the new 52-week lows, right, and the gaps fill below. So we're due for some sort of pullback. And this is what I want you to understand. This is a very bearish daily trend reversal candlestick. And as you can see, when it formed at support, this is very bullish, right? Hence, Tesla formed a bearish candlestick on the daily, it drops. Tesla formed a bullish candlestick on the daily, it spikes. Now, there's a gap to fill above at 407.32. That's your previous support. Your previous support right here towards this candle is towards this 407 gap. Right now, it's not reacting bearish and it's not reversing, which is bullish. But I am seeing patterns where it can flip super bearish for tomorrow. Take a look. Look at this pattern that nobody showed you on Tesla. Look at this bullish doji right here. You see this bullish doji right here, and then what does Tesla do the next day? It gaps up, and it has a very nice green day, and it closes strong towards the highs. Same thing right here. It forms a bullish doji. It gaps up, it closes very strong at the highs, right? So what happens the third day? On the third day, when Tesla goes under the previous closing price and reacts as a resistance level, it sells off and it closes weak at the lows. So this is the game plan. Previous support is at 207 and 210. It's up over 100%. It's overextended. This is a very bearish confirmation, and it's retesting the previous support level. If this gap in this closing price, 209.25 to 207.32, can react as a resistance, break down, you see Tesla go green to red, you see it go red on the day, buy the puts, scalp the puts. That's the game plan. So what I'm telling you is, this is the only confirmation I need heading into tomorrow. It must go red. If Tesla stock, here, let's see what it's doing during extended hours trading here real quick. So remember, it must go red. So it's gapping up right now. It's at $211.50. So it must go green to red. That's it. So if you see it crack 209.25 and it's forming a resistance level, short the stock, play the put options. There's even an inverse of Tesla where you can buy shares of that stock, and when Tesla drops, the ETF goes up. There's an ETF for that as well. Me personally, though, this is going to be an options play for me. So what I'm telling you is, this is the play. It must go green to red, and it must form a roof at 209. If you see it go green to red, it's looking bearish. It's forming resistance. It's red on the day at 209. Play the puts. It's going to have a nice red day. If it goes green to red, if it goes red on the day, that is when you play the puts. If it is green tomorrow, that pattern in that theory is irrelevant. You must wait for it to go green to red. You must wait for it to form some sort of resistance at the closing price of 209.25. That's going to be my hot play for tomorrow. I showed you the pattern. I showed you the theory. Tesla and SPY are going to be the bread and butter heading tomorrow. Look, man, we're going to trade the best setups to the best prices. That information that I shared with you should easily make up the cost of Trader Society. I made several videos this week alone telling people best price for puts, $415. That's the exact high of day. If you're serious about investing into yourself, this is the best time to do it, and I would encourage you to join Trader Society. It's the first link down below in the description. When you join, you get instant lifetime access for a one-time fee to the community, to the Discord, to the live trading streams, to the analysis that I give at real time when the market's open, also in the pre-market to prepare people, because extended hours trading is very, very important, right? I give you the best steps, the best prices. I share with you all my trades in real time. And we do the live trading streams. We're on the live voice channel. And we also go over, in the chat room, the networking opportunities in the community. We have multiple people who are making 5 figures every single week. With that being said, I would really encourage you to join that opportunity. I'm telling you, man, we will give you that third eye. We will show you how to view the market, how to scalp like a sniper, how to master the SPY, how to master the stock setups, how to patiently wait to trade the best setups at the best prices, man. The problem with most traders is they don't know how to identify potential. They don't know how to trade the best setups. But if you know how to identify potential, you will then set price alerts at those key levels. And all you have to do is be disciplined enough to just trade those key levels, to just trade your plan. Respect your max stop loss. Respect your confirmations. All right, for me to get in on this, I'm going to need some sort of confirmation. Respect your profit targets. Take your profits, right? I'm going to show you how to identify potential, how to create a trading plan, how to master price action, how to trade the best setups at the best prices. Look at what I just put you on in terms of this Tesla setup that I showed you, along with this upcoming trade for SPY. And I've been saying in my videos, SPY is the best level for puts at $415, man. I'm telling you, the most people, their problem is they will gladly wait outside in the cold, shopping waiting in line just to get into a Gucci store. But when it comes to trading, they just throw their money into the market. They don't know what they're doing, trading or investing. They're throwing their money at blindly key levels, and they don't have a plan, and they're not trading the best setups at the best prices. I'm telling you, man, I will show you how to do this. We will put you onto this game, and you will become disciplined to trade the best setups at the best prices. We will show you how to master the SPY, how to master stocks. You can use the strategy both ways. I'm telling you, man, if you are serious about becoming the best trader you can possibly become, this is going to be the best program for you. So with that being said, I would encourage you to take advantage of joining now, and I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.